Hello everyone, this is March with another weekly video. So I wanted to talk to you about my pneumonia. Yep, turns out that after COVID, it is actually more common than you'd think to be susceptible to pneumonia. And apparently that happened to me. So I only really found out about this 2 weeks ago. No, a week and a half ago. And I've probably been walking around with it actively for a week before that. I just didn't really recognize the symptoms because the symptoms I had were a little worse than I'm used to, but they were kind of similar to normal symptoms I would have after a cold or a flu or something like this. So here's what happened. I had COVID when I was in Spain, right? Had it for about 5 days, did my little recovery time, and I was doing all right. But I know every single time I have a cold or a flu or anything like that, I will be coughing for weeks, months afterward. That's always the case. So I wasn't surprised when that happened. Now, the cough was kind of persistent, but again, it's COVID, so it's not normal flu or normal flu. Flu is not normal, actually. Flu can actually be quite severe, but it's not flu, it's not a common cold, it is COVID, so I wasn't surprised that the coughing was a little more intense than it usually is. So I just went on with my life, went back to work, did my things, and when I go to work, I go from client to client. I make house calls. I'm a support worker, so I go to clients' houses, help them with the things they need, then go back to the office or go to the next client, and that's my day. And I have my little scooter, not the one with the electricity, but the one where you actually have to do the work. And I use that and public transport to go wherever I want to go. So that means carrying the little scooter up the stairs sometimes. That means a little extra exercise, which is really not a bad thing. But, well, the coughing remains, right? Another thing that I'm kind of used to is I have this thing they call postnasal drip. So sometimes there's just a lot of slime that needs to come out, and every once in a while I will throw up and stuff like that. It's nothing horrible, but just kind of annoying. So I'm kind of used to that as well, but that will happen every now and then. Now, on top of that, in this case, a few weeks ago, it was that crazy heat, right? The near 40 degrees heat. So it wasn't that week that I was just doing my thing. I was going to my clients, coughing a lot. And in that week, I threw up for about 4 to 6 times that week, which is more than usual. But didn't really think too much of it because the rest of the day I would feel alright. So I was like, I'm not sick. No, I'm okay. This is just maybe I ate something wrong. Maybe my stomach can't handle it right now with the heat or something. So maybe I should just not eat breakfast for a while. So that's the way I fixed it. And of course I got a little bit tired and the coughing got annoying. And I would just keep going. And my body would feel a little, like it was a bit strenuous, my body, it felt a bit heavy and a bit more difficult. And it was so hot as well, so I figured, well, that just makes sense. It just makes sense that everything's more difficult because it is very hot. And so everything's slower, so, I feel a little hot because, it is hot. So again, I didn't really pay attention to the entire thing going on. And then that Friday, I was so tired. And already I felt like carrying that little scooter up the stairs was a little too difficult. And I just felt so tired, man. And I thought, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, this coughing is more than just something that should happen. what if it's pneumonia? And so I went to the GP next Monday, and she said, yeah, actually I do hear something in your left lung, so it's probably pneumonia. So I'm going to give you antibiotics. And she gave me amoxicillin, which is broad spectrum but pretty intense penicillin-based antibiotics that will take care of most bacteria-created inflammations, right? So was amoxicillin 500, 3 times a day, 5 days in a row. So took that, and the fever kind of went up and down, right? I was just really tired. Went to bed like 3 times during the day. Actually slept as well, and still slept well at night. So yeah, my body needed to rest, clearly. And I was day after day, and the fever would kind of go down a bit and then come up a bit and go down again, come up a bit. So it never really completely went away. So I called the GP again on Friday and said, listen, is this normal? They said, yes, it is, because while the antibiotics are still actively being taken, it gives your body a little boost and it fights the infection, and then the fever can rise up again because your body is fighting the infection. So don't worry about that. But if the fever still arrives the day after you've taken your last antibiotic, that's weird. That's not supposed to happen. And that weekend, guess what happens? Just that. So Monday, calling GP again, right? Yeah, you're right. You're not supposed to still have fevers. So Monday got another round of antibiotics. Amoxicillin it's called. It's a different one. It's a little more specific. It's a lower dose. It's 100 milligrams. Had to take 2 pills on the first day, and then for the rest of the time 1 pill a day for all in all 7 days. And now here's hoping that it will catch on and that the fever will go down and stay down, and that I'll get a little more energy and a little more, just feeling okay. But here's the thing, it's boring. It's boring being not well. It's so boring. You can't do anything because, like, with fevers and stuff, you don't want to do anything. You just want to sit and you want to lay down and you want to drink water and tea. Like, normally I'll drink coffee. Normally I'll drink like a glass of wine. Now, I know you're not supposed to take wine with, antibiotics in the first place, but I wouldn't even want to. I don't feel like drinking any one of those two. Even if, like, I had a few sips of orange juice, my stomach couldn't even handle that. So, like, I'm noticing like my body is still not what it's supposed to be. So I'm still taking it nice and easy. It's week 2 now. It's only Tuesday, so it's still early in the week. I have decided to work from home, which means that I don't visit my clients, but I make phone appointments with them. That way, at least I get to do something. And of course, like, the first week of being really ill has gone. So now I'm hoping that I can just kind of get better and just do my thing and feel like I'm useful, which I think kind of helps, even if it's just for morale, And today was the first day, and it actually went pretty well, I think. So here's to hoping that the rest of the week goes the same way. And of course, we're just working from home for a week. That gives me the time to rest and recuperate, and hopefully the next week I can just do my job normally again. Fingers crossed. But first, let's hope that this specific antibiotics does its work. It has some side effects. I have like a little skin rash all over, but it's not itchy, so I'm not worried. If it starts to itch, I'm gonna call the GP again, obviously. But yeah, apparently little skin issues can be just a side effect. So like I said, I'm not gonna worry unless it's gonna itch or get like crazy. But until then, just gonna have to wait and see. Now here's the thing that I really want to tell y'all. Not many people know that this COVID, even if you have a mild version like I did, that it can come back in such a way that it can later on create something like a pneumonia. Because COVID is a virus, and this type of pneumonia is a bacteria one. So you wouldn't really make that link, but your system is so weakened from the COVID, even if it's a mild one, that you become more susceptible to it. You become more susceptible to the outside influences. So it may show up in some kind of weird disease, and pneumonia is just a fairly common one apparently. So if you had COVID and you're still coughing and you feel tired and stuff like that, please get it checked out, because the sooner you get it checked out, the sooner you can get it under control. I've been walking around with it for a while, which might be why it takes so long for it to heal, because I just didn't really recognize it for what it was. But please be aware of that is a possibility. So if you're even slightly curious, just get an appointment by your GP. Sorry about that. So just get it checked out just to be safe, because like I said, it's no fun being sick. It's just really, really boring, especially when the sun's out, because when you're feverish, trust me, you do not want to sit in the sun. And it's so gorgeous out, but there's like zero chance of me sitting in the sun, because I'm just not interested in getting even hotter than I am right now. And yes, you can take it that in both ways of me being hot. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Nah, but seriously, it's better if you can prevent it. And if you can't prevent it, it's better to catch it early. So if you're hesitating, if you're having ongoing symptoms, please just make sure to check that out. Oh, and that's also if you've been vaccinated, because I've had my 3 vaccines, then I had COVID, and now I still have this. So don't discount that, please. So still be careful. Don't be paranoid, don't be freaked out, but just be aware and be safe. Use, the normal hygienic advice for being around people at this point. And yes, that. Hopefully next time I make a video, it'll just be about good things. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.